Hello. Welcome. Why is Kango Cam on? That shouldn't be on. There we go. Actually, it'll be on here as well. Actually, no. Actually, it should be on. It just should be switched over that like that. There we go. Kango Cam. So Trainz already running. OBS is the thing that took a while to get started. But here we are. The map. So what I would like to do today on the Milton Valley Railroad... Oh wait, did I set the shadows down? Or are they still on medium? They might still be on medium, which... hold on. Might need to quickly relaunch Trainz. No, they're on low. No, that's all low. Okay. That's okay. So, hello VGR, welcome. Kangathango, yes. So what I would like to do today is, firstly, I want to fix this floating track issue here. And secondly, I would like to get all the scenery finished from down there where the lake is up to about here where the town starts. So that means fix all the grass and put the water in where the waterfalls are and things like that. Nothing much going on, just some Arma 2 nostalgia. Okay. Nostalgia can be a powerful tool, and a lot of big companies who own franchises know that. So, let's get started with that trek bit there, actually. Oh yeah, that reminds me, I need to fix a floating track issue on my JP1 map too, by the waterfall. Better get on that then. Not now, mind you, but after the stream's finished. So, I want to try to fix this with just the terrain to start with, just by pulling the terrain out. But if this doesn't work, then I'll reload without saving and use a retaining wall instead. Yeah. Yeah, that could definitely be interesting, trying to install TRS-19 on that current device. Yeah, that's still floating a little bit. I'm not sure that I can bring this out enough for it to not float. But also not enough as to cover the other the track on the other side. I think it should just be doable, just about. I meant to refer to your retaining wall idea. Oh, of course. Yes. Hello, Can Gaming, how are you? Welcome. That needs to be brought back a little bit there. Is that good? Is that covering all the stuff it needs to cover? Is the track decent? Even though that's not necessarily an accurate term, but I don't want to get into that. Doing well. How is route building? Well, it is going quite nicely. We're making good progress on this route. Like, because as you may or may not know, this up here is the last... So this bit up here that we've almost finished building is the last bit of the mountainous part of the route. So there's going to be a town up here, and then the branch is going to end there. So then after that, the entire top half of the map will be finished. So then we'll only need to do this little bit, fix some stuff over here, and build 1 or 2 more stations down there. Also, why is it suddenly so laggy? That is concerning. Hold on, let me just quickly pop that over. Right. Good to hear. By the way, I cleared up my Trainz bug thing. Ah, yes, that is good to hear. Nice, nice. Thank you. Ooh, actually, what's the render distance set to? I might need to change that a bit. Ah, yes, it's set to 6 kilometers. Let's reduce it down to 250. Or 2.5, if you're so inclined. Okay. So after I finished fixing this floating track stuff, then we'll put the water in by the waterfalls, between the waterfalls, and then I'll get to work making the grass areas look better on this little valley coming up here. Have you seen the grass from Trainz Forge's Appalachian right-of-way, the splines? No, I have not. Are they good? By the sounds of things, they are. I think those are some of the best I've ever seen. Ooh. Do you have some pictures you can share or link to, maybe? And they're seasonal. Ah, that's great. More seasonal assets is always a good thing in Trainz. Don't take that literally. I know that always is like infinity, and you've got to be careful with infinities. Yes, I will send some in the Discord. Thank you. I don't have Discord up at the moment, but I can open it up and look at them once you've posted. Are those on the DLS, or are they from a third-party site? As far as I've seen, it's either one season or all of them. Yeah, Trainz Forge, that's what I thought, but... Oh, they come with a route, so they are third-party assets. Ah. There we go. Glad it didn't crash. Let's quickly open up Discord on the side. Actually, on the bottom, because the button's on the right. I'll quickly switch over to here, and then I can obviously see them once you've posted them. Don't feel like you have to do it now. I've just gotten it open in case you do post them now. And there's no hurry. No hurry. Just want to have it ready. So, I think that looks okay. Would be easier to tell if the shadows were set to a high resolution but lag. So, I think that's good. It's okay if the gravel's a little bit overlapping the sleepers, because that's what it's like in real life as well in some instances. So now let's quickly hop over here. And what is the water looking like underneath here? Ah, right. Right. So let's... Actually, that depends. Do I want this to be flowing water, like actual water, or do I want to paint on the water here? I actually think I'm probably going to paint it on, in which case I don't need to touch the water layer. One moment. Goodness me, now the Discord message sound chimes in all the time. What do you mean? Those are on the DLS. Those waterfall, they're actually animated. It's just in the surveyor that they're static, but they are actually animated. It's called Terry's Waterfall. So, I'm going to zoom in to show you. There you go. Terry's Waterfall, 5,200 meters with sound. If you just search for Terry's Waterfall, you should find it. Okay. So. Let's paint this in. Hopefully that'll work, because... Yeah, this is a 10-meter baseboard, unfortunately. Which... Because the thing is, I could upgrade it to 5-meter, but then I would have to do all of this texture work again, because it would mess things up. So I'm going to try to make it work with this resolution, which shouldn't be too difficult. It's going to be a bit difficult. Although honestly, just something like that actually looks good. Although I'm not entirely sure if the resolution is good. Let's just quickly undo this and change the resolution. Let's increase the size of it, because it doesn't match the size, the scale up above. Or was it sound? With sound, it isn't written out, I think. It worth in the end? I meant the Discord notifications on audio on stream. No. It isn't. First of all, I didn't hear anything, and secondly, the computer audio is currently muted. Hold on. If I switch it over, there, now you can see, you can hear the sound of the waterfall, and this is what it was like before. So that must have been your own Discord. Haha. Although that does seem a bit large. Maybe if I... Oh, alright, I want to use this texture probably. That one looks good. Yeah, that'll be a good one. I'll fix it later. Tornado guy, hello! How are you? It's been a while. Yeah, I had it up in... It's been a while. How have you been? Yes. I've been really busy. I might just change the terrain slightly. Or actually, can I paint it down here? Not really, unfortunately. It would have to be there. What would it look like if I flattened this out a little bit more? Ah, there we go. That's what I wanted it to look like. Ah, that's much, much nicer. I'm doing good. Good to hear. I'm just in the process of finishing the last bit of the mountainous area of the MVR. So we're approaching a true milestone, honestly. Oh, it's you. Oh, it's you. It's been a long time. How have you been? I've been really busy reading chat. You know, since you wrote to me. Okay, so let's grab the other texture. Apologies for the performance. It does appear to be a little bit laggy today. Can't do anything about that. It shouldn't be too bad. I'll try to not move the camera too much. But yes, I can't wait to play it next month. To play what next month? Read above. Oh, sorry. I didn't... Yes. I discovered a new game called Run 8, Train Simulator. Oh, Run 8! Oh, that! Yes. I know about that. That seems like it's a very, very nice game. Quite a bit too pricey for my wallet at the moment. But, then again, most things are. But, it does seem very, very good. So, have fun with that. Right. After you, not since you. Alright. Yeah, I know you can actually dispatch trains. That is one of the big things that does make it look like it's fun. You can also do stuff like that with trains. Like if you've got a bunch of people in a multiplayer game, like one guy can be a dispatcher and only they are allowed to switch junctions and things like that. And I've done that with Kango, and that is quite a lot of fun. So a game where that's an actual mechanic built into the system, it's really good. It's only $50, I know. But $50, well, depends on your situation. That can be a lot or it can be next to nothing. Love watching those ATCS layouts? What do you mean? What do you mean ATCS? Two of my favorite things. Video Steam chose 19 multiplayer. Yes, well, One of us just needs to make a multiplayer map, and then we can stream it on that ATSF. Oh, maybe? I don't know. Yeah, with this lag, it's a bit difficult to do very fine clicks. Oh, the dispatcher displays. Oh, right. Yes. Yeah, that is fun. Seeing all the junctions with the signals and the little dots passing as the trains are passing through the blocks. All right. I wonder who's gonna do an MP route. You, of course. And it's going to be set in. Let's say modern day Africa, somewhere. I'd be the dispatcher. Well, maybe if we've got a route, Egypt perhaps. If we had a route. Or do you mean you'd be the dispatcher in run 8? Actually, that makes more sense. Yeah. Have fun with that. I've not bought it yet. Egypt, yes. I actually guessed correctly. Because I'm going on a road trip. Ooh, where are you going? Have you and the road discussed this yet? But why Africa? Well, because there aren't that many African locomotives on the DLS, so you'd have to make your own, and then we'd get lovely African locomotives for trains. Oh, by the way, Tornado Guy, did you hear the news about the Spirit of Steam DLC releasing for Trainz in World 2? It's been like 2 years in the making as well. It looks really good, but Trainz in World 2 doesn't run on my machine, really. I tried running it on using a virtual machine, but no, I think it needs too much memory, because it lags a lot even if I turn all the settings down to minimum, and then even with that it's using more and more memory, and then it eventually just crashes. And no, it doesn't work very well. And I think it even crashed the whole virtual machine. I'm still doing research on the game. Aha! Also, do you know what they use for locomotives in modern day Africa? Probably. Don't they use a lot of, in some countries, don't they use a lot of EMD build locos? Or am I misremembering? Zav, your processor probably just isn't powerful enough. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's part of it. And another part of it is probably the memory that I'm able to allocate to, was it Africa or Australia? I don't know, maybe either. Yeah, they're able to allocate to the virtual machine. Hold on, if I just quickly look for African locomotive. Not the locomotive that I was looking for. No, but things like that. It looks like a somewhat American design. Sure. Okay, then let's make it Age of Steam Africa. Why not? Would perhaps run better if the game natively supported macOS, but the chance of that ever happening are next to slim. Next to slim? I guess. Looks pretty ugly to me. Okay, so painted the grass. I think that looks good. Ah, no, I still need to do this little bit back here. Bit too much. I think there's a little bit too much right there on that little point here as well. Maybe just a click like that. No, that's too much. Too much gone. Still too much gone. Like that. There we go, that should be better. Maybe one, whoops, maybe one there as well. And we're up there. Aegis Team Africa, huh. For my first ever root release, isn't that a bit too large of a project? Ha ha ha! Goodness honestly. Too much gong? Gong. Too much gong. No. Too much gone. Okay, so that was quite successful. Now, next step is adding grass blinds on the left, on the right. Actually, I didn't paint underneath this track yet. I want to add a little bit more ballast underneath the siding. So here I'm probably going to use, for the grass, I'm probably going to use the same grass blind that I used on the last branch that we built. The quite short, broad spline is the one I mean. Next thing I know, I was surrounded by grass plants left, right, and center. Ah, I see. How did that happen? He says, placing grass blinds. I know I'm not, but I will be. Yeah, that doesn't look good. One moment. Yeah, that's a bit difficult. Yeah, see, this is why it's tricky building on the grid and not at an angle. Because you get all these straight lines which look very unrealistic. It was a flying television. Flying telescreen. Ah, interesting. Okay, so shall I close Discord? It's probably better for performance. So these are the splines that I was looking for. These ones. Come on, there we go. Instant grass, FMA, instant grass, yes. So, I don't want to place too much of this. Also, isn't there a, that's F. Isn't there a larger version of this? No, I don't think so. Actually, if I search for it on the DLS, maybe I can find a larger version of it. F. Nope, it's just that one. Okay. Sure. So I don't want to go too overboard with this, so I'm just going to add it in a couple of spots like that. And then we'll see what it looks like. Instagrass TM, haha. Ooh, will you post that link again to the website where you made the font look like that? I think you will, probably. Actually, now you're just looking for it, aren't you? Because you'd already closed it. Ah. There we go. It can be a bit difficult to see here, actually, but that's okay. Outsmarted again! Tell you what, Arma 2's terrain looks pretty good for a 2009 game. I'm not familiar with it. Sure, I'll take your word for it. But Arma 6 is way more realistic. Well, with games, the higher the numbers go, if they're aiming for realism, the more realistic they tend to get. So, yeah. How does that look? With Portal 2? Yes, with Portal 2 as well. That looks okay. Actually, yeah, I really like that, but that little bit there looks a little too empty. Oh? Yeah. But we don't even know what graphics it'll be like then. What do you mean? What graphics will... Oh, you mean 2024, alright, kind of graphics. 2045 is the number. And here I am also going to put down a little bit of grass. Just because this is actually quite close by to the tracks. I really do actually need to put a little bit more up here as well, because the moment you add a detail, the absence of the detail everywhere else becomes very apparent. So I kind of have to continue adding it up until a point which is quite far away from the tracks. Maybe like that. So you come up here. Actually, that looks pretty good. Then you come over here. That could use a little bit of improvement. Something like that, probably. Just to also break up the texture underneath where it's tiling. Okay, yeah, that looks good. Just looking back there. I think that's a good place to end the texture, the spline being placed. And then this bit I want to do the other way. So I want the houses to start around here, I'd say. So let's put the grass splines up to that point. Due to mandatory scheduled maintenance, the appropriate response to that statement is currently unavailable. It has been replaced with an XD. Thank you for participating in this Aperture Science computer-aided multi-member text-based activity. This was a test all along? How did you plan that? I know it's probably supposed to be read like in a GLaDOS-like voice, but that would have taken a long time, and I only noticed afterwards when you wrote with Aperture Science, so... Yeah, and I do really want to get some building done. By some, I mean quite a bit. Actually, I am going to build it from the other side because that's the shadow side here, so it's a bit easier to see the splines. Because they do blend in with the grass quite well, which is good, because I don't want them to be too apparent. Original lines from Chapter 16 Portal. Chapter 16? Hamlet Act 3, Scene 5. Oh right, and not Hamlet Act 5, Scene 3. Yes. What? I said and not. Chamber, not chapter. Oh, right, I misread that. What do you mean? Why are you so surprised? Hello, Super 8. Oh, Super 8. How are you? Something in agreement. Okay. Humming. Let's check the looks. Hold on, I need a mirror. Oh wait, no. Other looks. Root looks. Actually, that looks good. Can probably bring this back a little bit more here. Up to there or something like that. And then we need to fill in a little bit of this gap here. Great news, what happened? Okay. That all looks good. That bit looks a bit too empty. Why great news? What happened? What's the news? That's great. It looks like I'll finally be able to start my Living Out walkthrough series. Oh, I see. That is great news. The Dacia Sandero. Dacia. The Dacia Sandero. What is that? Oh, I don't know that. Top gear, I'm not familiar with it. Yeah, I do kind of have to put a bit of this grass over here as well. The thing is, if I put a bit of this grass over here, then pretty much opening the gates to filling in all of this area, which I do not want to fill in, so... Bad news, what? The Dacia Sandero, it's been delayed? Oh no! Anyway, last week. What was the running gag? As far as I know. But what is that? Is it a car? Is it a plane? No, it's a reference. Oh, it is a car. Alright. Yeah, see, now I've brought it so close down to the water, to the river, that I might as well fill in this little area as well, because now it's only a little area to fill in. I told you I'd have to do this if I put any grass over on this side of the river at all. Sorry, over on this side of the road at all. It's all about borders, barriers. Yeah, I'll probably place some trees or something along here as well. Just a few ones. We'll see. This? What is that? Okay, sure. Sure. I really have nothing to say about that. How about that? Does that look good from down here? Looks okay, but I need a bit of grass along here, and this spline is too large. So I'll have to use the other grass spline, which is thicker as well. Not just narrower, but also denser. Thicker. Like thick, meaning density. You are my density. If you get that reference. It's destiny, yeah. No, you are my density. No. You are my density. No. It's not Star Trek. What? I know a reference that's not Star Trek. Or Top Gear. Yeah, now to make this look good, I have to put a bit of this denser grass over here as well. Not Doctor Who. Oh, sure, if you're that certain about it. Sure, it's not Doctor Who. No! No. Do you want to have the character's first name as a hint? Or a clue? Yeah, clue can work as well. The character's first name is George. Now I've got you thinking. No. Other George. Nope. Nope, it's not him either. Or just him, for that matter. Nope, it's not a TV series. A TV series character? Nope. Mm-mm. This George guy wanted to say, "You are my destiny," but instead said, "You are my density." Yeah, I get that. Who directed the movie? That would be giving it away, I feel. No, it's not Leslie Nielsen. No. It's also not a character played by Leslie Nielsen. It's been like 8 years? Actually, let me recalculate. Yeah, like 8 years since I've last seen this film. Good clue. Huh. I know. No. No. You want another clue? Something that this George guy did. The character did. He fell from a tree and then almost got hit by a car. In fact, some might say that he did get hit by a car, but actually he didn't. But actually he did get hit by a car, but then he actually didn't. Back to the Future, there we go. Yes, George McFly. There we go. Of course. So what gave it away, finally? Schrodinger's car? No. Schrodinger's time machine. But with time travel, yeah. So what gave it away? Was it the actual falling from a tree, or was it the fact that I said that he did get hit by a car, but actually didn't, but actually did, but actually didn't? Was it that? Schrodinger's car, but it's time machine and not made by Schrödinger. Yeah, but he's got the patent, so since he has the patent, he gets to name it. The did and didn't thing. Yeah. And just generally. Yes. And just generally, yes. The tree thing led me to believe it was Jurassic Park, and then I thought of Back to the Future. Actually, wait, I don't even have to reach all the way over my keyboard because I can just use the right shift key to make the splines not connect. So I don't have to reach all the way over when I'm changing the camera angles. Like these quizzes though. Oh, does that mean that you want another one? Is that what you're saying? Also, I need to add a bit of the cliff texture over here. That is not the cliff texture. Yeah, please? Oh, keep my sharp. Razor sharp. Okay. I'll need to think of one first. Okay. In what film... Can it be a character line or something? Maybe for the next one after. But first, this. In what film did a... In what film was a cigar placed inside a model to demonstrate what it would look like if someone set in the real thing? The Time Machine! There you go. I thought that might be a bit easy. By George Orwell. George Orwell. Are you sure? Are you sure that it was George Orwell? Because yeah, in the movie. But the book wasn't written by George Orwell. It does have well in it, but it's not George. There we go, yes. Got him mixed up. I can tell. Okay, so a character line, you said you wanted. To think of something first. This isn't as easy as it looks. Okay. How about most sincerely dead? Another quite easy one, but it's the only one I can think of at the moment. Do I need an abutment for this bridge? Probably. Let me see if I can grab one. Nope. Yes, you are entirely wrong about that. This isn't tall enough, unfortunately. No, that is not it either. Didn't I have a taller abutment somewhere? I mean, I know I can stack these, but that just takes a while to do, and I don't really want to do that. Where was that? Where was that? Hold on. Where is that bridge that I'm thinking of? Was it over here? Genre, comedy, thriller? It's neither of those. No, it was this abutment. Maybe I can stack them. Are you really gonna notice from here? Yeah, you kind of are, unfortunately. Although I don't want to... I want to get some actual building done, not build bridge abutments all day. From the point of movie release, was it set in the present day? Yeah. Oh, I see. That's just a grating over the top. That's why you can actually look through that slightly. That's why I can see the shapes through it. I'm probably going to have to smoothen this out a bit just to get a little bit of a easier shape to work with. Do you want a clue? Nope. The line is sung, not spoken. Nope. The line "most sincerely dead" is not from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Surprisingly. One could say that. Nope. Yeah, that's great. I have to do hardly any commentary. Oh, do you have it? Steve Martin? No, it did not feature Steve Martin. Nope. Arg. Do you want another hint? The making of the film required a lot of copper-based paint, which was quite toxic. Doesn't look great because it doesn't match the color, but it's fine. For now, at least. Copper-based? Yes, copper-based. Coraline? No. Oh! Night Before Christmas? No, it's not Nightmare Before Christmas. Let's just put down a house over here. And then I want a road to come over and go closer along the tracks. The Muppets Christmas Carol? No. No, no. Have I seen it? Yes. Is that good? Too straight. Let's see, would a house fit there or not? Nah, that's too close. Maybe if I have the house sort of there, then the road would have to be not Alice in Wonderland. You're right, it's not. The road would have to be sort of there. Oh! Wizard of Oz! There we go. He's got it. By Jove, I think he's got it. It's, yes. Do you know more specifically as well, or not? Tin Man? Nope. Do you want to just say it now since you've guessed the film? The Munchkins. When the Wicked Witch was killed under the house, the coroner inspected her and said that she is most sincerely dead. Not just merely dead, but most sincerely dead. And the copper paint was the Wicked Witch's paint. The other Wicked Witch, the green one. What did it again? Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I would not have gotten that. Okay. A little bit more space between them. Like that. My turn now? Sure. You can come up with a Wizard of Oz quote if you want. Sure. Haha. He just needed to confirm the kill. Yes. Yeah, that's literally, yeah. That is it. He did. That looks very similar to the other house. Is there any real... Oh yeah, the texture is a bit different. Now you're thinking. Ah! You look looking good, actually. Okay, that is portal to Wheatley in the opening, when he first sees Shell. Correct? Yes! There we go, yeah. Okay, so now it's... Do you want to take another turn? Because I did go a couple times in a row. You take another turn. Take another turn. Thanks. Does that look good? Actually, I think that'll look quite nice. Imagine if you're a child growing up here and like in this house, which actually looks quite surprised now that I look at it. But you're growing up there and like that's your bedroom window. So, or maybe actually no. You moved here. Your family moved here, and you were given the choice of which room you wanted to be your room, your bedroom. Either over here, looking out over the valley like this, or in the back, looking out over the train lines like that. Of course, it's clear what the appropriate choice would be. Ah, that's the corner one. Are these all the corner ones now? I think... is that a... Yeah, that's a corner one as well. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to loop through these houses again. Okay. Trying to think of a good one. See, it's not that hard. Easy. You like revenge, right? Everyone likes revenge. Well, let's go get some. Well, that is... Potato GLaDOS, also Portal 2. But now it is my turn, if that is correct. Is that correct? Is it? Yeah, right before the boss fight. Okay, so now it's my turn. Let's see. Okay, how about this? So, two people. One of them says, is it heavy? The other one says, yeah, or yeah, or yes, or yeah. So, is it heavy? Yeah. Then it's expensive. Put it back. I think that is the correct exact quote, but the wording might be slightly off. But I think that is the exact quote. Is it heavy? Yeah. Then it's expensive. Put it back. Nope, not Back to the Future. I also remembered I wanted to... actually, it would be this one. That one's got you thinking, hasn't it? Do you want a clue? Do you know of any of the actors, actresses? I do, but I don't want to give it away. Clue, yeah, okay. So, the article in question that the characters were talking about. Hello, Danger of Depth. How are you? The article they were talking about was a pair of night vision goggles. Oh, not Jurassic Park. No, it is Jurassic Park. When they're in the car and Tim pulls out the night vision goggles and the lawyer tells him to put it back if they're expensive. Shadow 1-1 going dark. Hey, it's not that dark yet. Yay! But I wasn't sure. Yay! Okay, well, there you go. That's your turn. Do I want one of these houses over here? I would like to have one like here, if I have the road coming over like that. We could have like a connecting road, but it would have to be flat, and that wouldn't work. I mean, I've already got my next one. But last I checked, it wasn't my turn. I've got to be careful with this. I can only think of obvious portal quotes. Well. Hello, Willis1961. If you're here, welcome. Trainz, you go ahead. I'll pass it around. Okay. The quote is, "They've gone to plaid." No, plaid. One moment. There we go. You see, plaid. Oh, is it spelled like that? Are there multiple spellings? One moment. Oh, I might have... No, it also works... That's strange. Here it says it like that. Strange. Anyway, you're right. Plaid like that. I've never written that word before. No, the quote is, "They've gone to plaid." There we go! Danger of Depth got it! Yeah, it is from that. When Spaceball 1 goes into the ludicrous speed and they just shoot overhead and leave that trail of plaid behind. Ah. Okay, so that looks a little steep. Let me see if I can fix this slightly. Yeah, if you want to go next, go ahead. Movie quote. If you want. Well, I'm just busy placing houses. Or heists, depending how you want to say that. Is there enough space for 2 of them here? Maybe if I move it in a bit closer. Ah, I know the quote, but I've never seen that. Is it from Alien? I don't know. I've heard of the quote, but I've not seen the film that it's from. What? I don't know that one. Do you want to give a hint what it's from? Yeah, I don't think there's enough space to properly have two houses there. I mean, if this was somewhere in the Alps, for example, then having the houses this close together with just this ledge between them might actually look quite realistic, but like this, maybe if I move this one a bit closer to the road, like that. Yeah, I don't know what that quote, where that quote is from. Oh, it is. Oh, it's Aliens then. CPL next Aliens. Ah, so it was. I thought, but yeah, I said Alien, not Aliens, so I technically didn't get it. But you got it. Congrats. Yeah, I've yet to see that film, or those films. Sorry. Well done. Indeed. Willis 1961, since you're here, would you like to take a turn next? Yeah, see, there exactly. Hello there. Oh. Tomart. Ah, yes, he did say that. Ah. Ah, alright. Do you want to give a clue? Actually, let's put down a larger building first, because I do want this town to have a school as well. Not because I'm particularly fond of them, but because it's realistic. So, we had one down here. So let's get this asset. Yeah, a clue would be nice. Sir Alec. Wasn't that the guy from... Wasn't that the name of the guy from Quantum Leap? I know he was usually just called Al, but wasn't it actually Sir Alec? Or am I just misremembering that completely? It has been a long time since I've seen that. Hmm. Yeah, this place needs a bit of a parking lot in front, so... Ooh, actually, if I keep it up on this level, then I can have a little road going down to it, and you can see the trains much easier from the windows in here. A place far, far away. Star Wars? Oh! Ah, yeah, it's... yeah, Star Wars. Of course, of course, it's in the prequels. It's Obi-Wan saying that, isn't it? Or is it the... Well, no, if it's 77, that would be the original one, if it is Star Wars. I have not seen those films in a long, long time. No. Actually, if I move this closer to the... I suppose I could have a road back here. And actually, I've just remembered I'm probably going to have to replace most of these roads with ones that have sidewalks, but... I don't know. Yeah, I do remember it from Star Wars. I just don't remember the character and what the context was. Okay, so I need to get the asphalt texture for the parking lot. Did I use the asphalt textures over here? Yeah. Well, actually, I suppose I could use the city textures. Why not? Imagine getting the train to school every day with these, with this line. Obi-Wan Kenobi to R2-D2 in Star Wars, not episode 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, just plain old Star Wars. It was Obi-Wan then. Ah, when he meets... Oh, yes. That does feel right. It does feel right. Yeah. It has been many years since I've seen those episodes. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how many. At least, maybe... maybe 6 years? The one where Han shot first. Didn't they change that in an edit though? Later on, Disney didn't they change it so that it's clear that Han didn't shoot first in that other version of it? Yeah, I'm a bit rusty with Star Wars. Yeah. Okay, well then I guess it's my turn again. Let me just find the school while I'm thinking. Okay, bye-bye, Eliza. VGR. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming. It's trying to be PC. Yeah. Yeah. I did remember correctly then. Because the hero can't have any bad qualities. Of course not. Anyway, quote. Okay. You would not be so agile if you lacked its counterbalance. It's a pretty easy one. Yeah, of course, it's data. An ode to Spot? Yeah. But you only recently saw that episode. Actually, you know what? I'll bring this fence all the way down to the road. That way, it doesn't ruin the view. So now it's your turn again, Kango. Actually, at this point, I should probably replace the roads with the sidewalk ones. Unless I'm going to manually put sidewalk down, which actually might be a bit of a better solution, thinking about it, because I do really like these roads and it's going to make a lot of things easier. No, I need... Which ones do I need? There was an intersection over here that I used the sidewalk spline on. Where was that? Hold on. It was somewhere over here. Ah, there we go. Okay, how would this look with this sidewalk? Well, that's the wrong way around. Hold on. Let me start from this side. Looks a bit wobbly, but that's okay. Arg? That's... I don't know what movie that's from. Can you give a clue? My mind's gone blank. I need a waist so I can wear all my black belts. Yeah, I'm a black belt. I need a waist so I can wear all my black belts. Yeah, I'm a black belt. That would imply that the character who's speaking doesn't have a waist, which would imply... maybe some sort of spirit that's speaking? Not a spirit. Interesting. Also, I'm going to pull this bit over. Sure, a hint would be nice. Green. The Grinch? How the Grinch Stole Christmas? Nah. Kermit? Not blue, not yellow, and not pink, but green. Oh. Not blue, not yellow, not pink, but green. That's... TMNT. Not that. Oh, I see. Not blue, not yellow, not pink. But green. Is it that... I don't know why, but is that sung? Is it like part of a song? Now, all I can think of is aquamarine, but I think that's Into the Woods thing, isn't it? No, not Into the Woods. Sorry. No. It's Painting the Roses Red, not pink, not green, not aquamarine. It's the Alice in Wonderland thing. Painting the Roses Red, and so on. A gruff voice. Wait, it's from the Gruffalo? What? This one's not from a movie. Sorry, should have said before. Oh. Well, not from a movie then. Oh, is it from Sam and Max? Nope. It sounds like an adventure game line. I am the very model of a modern Major General. You could say the character's adventurous. Thank you. That really narrows it down. It's not from a film. Imagine in it again in a bit of a gruff voice. I need a waist so I can wear all my black belts. Yeah, I'm a black belt. Henry? I don't think Henry the Green Engine is a black belt. But he would need a waist for his belt. Oh, it's from Buaba. From Buaba. Yes? Oh, I am moving the wrong thing. Hold on. Another clue, please. Also, this is really quite a bit laggy, the responsiveness. Should probably save just in case. If it's a gruff voice, then if it were I'm a bat belt, then that would make it a bit easy, but from a video game. Is it a game that I've actually played? That I'm likely to have played? Land of the character, why don't you go ahead and give yourself a little lady break, and I'll just take it from here. Is it Little Misfortune? Nah. Wait, is it? Is that a yes or a no? Nah. Oh, it's not. Not 2D. Yes, please. In fact, you have 2 in order to progress. In this game, you can hold... In this game, you can hold this character. In fact, you have to in order to progress. Well, we started with some Portal 2 quotes, so I guess video games were part of it from the very beginning, but apparently. I was hoping to keep it to movies because people are more likely to actually know about those, but... You've got to hold the character to progress? Now I can just... To me, that just sounds like an enchanted sword that has a consciousness. But no, I have no idea. Yeah, that doesn't help me. Sure, one more hint and then I'd say you tell us. because it's just taking ages. There were a lot of games released in 2011. Last time I checked. Yeah, Willis 1961. I know how you feel. I don't know this either. No, I have no idea. Go on, tell us then. Shadais, you have played the game, but you didn't play the main single-player campaign of it. Oh, is it the portal thing? Where you've got to... Is it the core? At the end where you're fighting GLaDOS, we've got to rip the cores off, and it's the adventure core who... Yeah, that's it. I got it. Yeah, it's the adventure core, isn't it? In Portal 1 at the end. Or Portal 2 then? Is it Portal 2? The adventure core in Portal 2 or something like that? Yeah, because you've got to attach the things, don't you? The adventure core, I meant. Oh, I don't know. Oh, it is the adventure core. Onto Wheatley. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I had no idea. The fact they said that I didn't play the single player, but that is an inside hint. That wouldn't have helped anyone else figure that out. So now it's my turn. I'll do a movie quote. And the movie quote is... The wonderful... Oh, sorry. Let me get this right. Yeah, it's... I'm the wonderful, marvelous, mad Madam Mim. Again, the quote might be... I think it's the exact quote, but it might be slightly off. Because it, again, has been years since I've seen this film. But I think it's an exact quote. There you go, Sword in the Stone. First time. Madam Mim. Yeah, the Sword in the Stone. I wasn't sure if it's going to be an easy one or a hard one. How? Did you remember it from when you saw the film last? Or... Actually, you know what? I'm going to get rid of the sidewalk on this bit. It's just too close. So then, Danger of Depth, it would be your turn now. If you want to continue. It's probably because it's a song. I'm going to put a little bit of the sidewalk going up here. Yeah. I need to quickly grab the... Actually, isn't it the same dirt texture that I used over here? Not sure. Probably this one. Yeah, it's that one. Today must be Thursday. I can already tell that this is going to be difficult. Is it a movie quote? The Terminator? Why? I don't know why, but that was just the first thought that popped in my head when when I heard the quote. Could never get the hang of Thursdays. Ah, that sounds so familiar. Hmm. I... Hmm. Cover a wide range of media. Oh, so you mean covers. Is it Star Wars again? Actually, saying that, it might actually be Star Wars again. Hmm. Uh... Hitchhikers! Oh! Oh! I knew it sounded familiar. That would fit. Yeah, of course. When the Earth is getting... Yeah, when the Earth is about to get destroyed to make way for the highway, the intergalactic highway, and things just go wrong. You could just never get the hang of Thursdays. Of course! Mm. Well done. Well done. Well, it's your turn now. Congratulations, yes. A bad film? I quite enjoyed it when I saw it. Alright. Yeah, the name, I don't know. I would have to give up on the name, to be honest. Book much better. I don't think I've read the book. Arthur Dent. Ah, yeah, there we go. Tell you what, let's just put some totally safe swings here. If you fall off, you're totally not going to tumble down a hill. Actually, it's not that steep there. You'll be fine. Anyone not wearing 2 million sunblock is going to have a real bad day. Movie. Good to know. Oh, wait, is it... Is it the film where they're on that dark planet with the creatures that come out at night, where they... Or am I completely misplacing it? Movie heroine. No, it's not that. Okay. Actually, where am I going to connect this road? I've just... Actually, yeah, I'm probably just going to have to have this crossover like that. And then go over like this. And then I'll have it connect over like that. I'm not sure that I've seen this film. Oh, hello! Asuka Mikasa. Hello. If you're not a bot. Actually, I'll put down some trees. Just because I want this to look a little bit more like it's going to look when it's finished. Like with that quote, I couldn't even begin to guess, really. It does not sound familiar at all to me. Skynet? Wait, so it is Terminator? What do you mean Matrix? Skynet is Terminator. Wait, is that a line from Terminator? Oh, is it when he's talking about the future and about the war? Or is it... Not quite. Let me just place you a tree. There you go. Actually quite a nice spot for a tree. Also, let's place a barrier along here. Look at the first clue. Anyone not wearing 2 million sunblock is going to have a real bad day. And it's a sort of heroine. If this is Star Wars again... No, it's not. I don't think it is. I keep thinking of those neural parasites from Star Trek. The one that attached itself to Spock's back on that episode, where it was the sunlight that killed them. But I sincerely doubt that that is the thing. No. I still have no idea. Hamilton? Is that another clue, or is that the answer? Oh, Linda Hamilton. The name is familiar, but I can't place her. I know she's an actress, but... The name sounds familiar, but I can't place her, unfortunately. Well, T2... Terminator 2, you mean? Her character. Oh! So then it is... If it is... Right movie. Oh! Oh, yeah, so she is the one from Terminator. The... I know that name. I know the name of the character. Was it something Jones? Oh no, Connor! Sarah Connor, of course! Yes, there we go. Of course. Yeah. I've only seen that film twice? If I recall correctly. Maybe 3 times? I did not watch that film often enough to have gotten that. Yeah, describing Armageddon Day. Yeah, that was the thought. When you wrote that, I thought Terminator, and then I thought... I did think about Terminator and someone describing the... describing Armageddon Day. But I thought it was in Terminator 1, where he gets sent back and he's explaining it to her. But actually it was her explaining it then, describing it then. Yeah. So now we are doing characters on culture. Well, unfortunately, we've run out of time for today. I do quickly want to place a house there. So... Actually, it would be... Yeah. Psychiatrist. Yeah, oh, you mean in the beginning, when... Yeah. Yeah, now that you're saying it, I do remember the scene. I do remember the quote, but I would never have gotten that. Not without rewatching my entire library of films. But yeah, that was fun. Yeah, I think I am going to make a little bit more of a hill there. It was probably mostly natural, this land, and they just built it up a little bit to build a house on it. But it's a natural hillside. Let's go with that. The road looks great too. Thank you. Yeah, that was fun. Why? I like these ones. Or do you think they're too modern? I think they look basic enough to be... Right? Oh, I need a thumbnail. Just remembered. Do I want to literally show everything that we've... No, we did the grass stuff in the back, so it wouldn't show everything that we've done, but show most of what we've done. What I've done. They do look quite modern, but I'm not sure if they're old ones. Yeah. The tree looking that blurry isn't ideal. Hold on, if I turn up the tree detail to normal. There we go. Let's try that. Maybe if I lower the camera down a bit. Yeah, now you can't really see anything. Maybe something like this. I'm sure that'll be fine. Oh, did I just press the quit button by accident? Ah, hold on, I'll quickly reopen it. Because I want to reset the settings. Bye-bye, the inch of depth. Just quickly looking, see what the settings are like, and then I'll end the stream. Yeah, that's an interesting point of view. Okay, let's quickly go into the settings. Yeah, I just want to quickly set that back down. Although I suppose I'm going to need it up high anyway for stuff. So I'll turn the tree detail down to low. I don't think there are any other school buses, only modern ones. Yeah, I did read that. Okay, so thank you all very much for watching. That was fun. The stream will of course be archived on YouTube, as always. And I'll see you next time. Didn't think they had AC on the roof back then. Yeah. Yeah, there are some things that don't fit completely. I might be able to place something over the top of it, but you are kind of restricted in some assets, so, or maybe use a different, I don't know. Anyway, something to consider for next time. Bye bye, good night. You're welcome.